This just into CBS Sports HQ. Colts owner Jim Irsay says quarterback Anthony Richardson is, quote, probably, end quote, going to undergo shoulder surgery soon and miss the rest of the season. That's according to an ESPN report. Richardson injured his shoulder during Indy's Week 5 loss to Tennessee right there and missed Sunday's loss to Jacksonville. Gardner Minshew will continue starting in his place. Richardson was drafted 4th overall out of Florida this year as we welcome in two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden. Now, BMAC, Jim Irsay saying that Richardson is going to have the final say. It's a sprain of the AC joint in his throwing shoulder. If you were the player, if you were Richardson, what would you do in this situation?
It depends on how much pain, you can tolerate. Now, if this was his non-throwing shoulder, I think this would be an easier decision. But with this being his throwing shoulder and knowing how athletic he is, it's hard for Anthony to go into a ball game knowing that he's clearly not 60% healthy, and it's his throwing shoulder, not to mention he's going to get tackled. He's going to fall. And we don't know if he continues to play and avoid any surgery-like opportunities. What is at stake? Will it become more severe, or will it just stay stagnant in regards to the injury? So this is a tough situation to be in because clearly, when he's in uniform, their offense seems to be moving at a better rate than when he's not. He showed us small sample sizes of what type of player he could be, and it would be a devastating blow if his season ends so early.
So if he, in fact, chooses to have surgery, how might that change his approach next season?
Well, I think when you look at Anthony Richardson so far in this small sample size, the concussion that surfaced, right? He hit his head on the back of the turf. And then the shoulder. Routine-like plays. Unfortunately for him, he, took the worst of those situations. Now, I felt some type of way in regards to when he returned to action from those concussion-like injuries. The design quarterback runs. Right, that game against Tennessee, he was heavily involved in the running game. I felt like Coach Steichen should have been more mindful in involving him in so many quarterback design runs, because that play that he got injured on, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a quarterback design run, put him in harm's way, and of course the rest is history.
That's part of the position, as you know, playing quarterback. You're going to get banged around. They're 3-3, and at this point, you're sort of hoping that Gardner Minshew can be the stopgap, because you're not going to try to make any move at this point for a quarterback, because you're hoping that Richardson can come back next season fully healthy. What does it mean, though, now to know that you have Jonathan Taylor under contract and having Richardson coming back next year if, in fact, he decides to have season-ending surgery?
Well, it's a great secure blanket moving forward, but I think for the Indianapolis Colts, the opportunity is still there, especially within their division. I mean, the window is wide open in the AFC South. Yes, they took a big one on the chin this past weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but outside of that, man, the window is there. So if you don't have Anthony Richardson, one would think eventually Jonathan Taylor will get caught up to speed, and he can help a guy like Gardner Minshew out tremendously. You can't forget about Zach Moss as well. He's done a phenomenal job filling in for Jonathan Taylor. So the bigger question for me is, which Gardner Minshew will you see? The guy that surfaced against the Baltimore Ravens on the road, played big-time football, led them to a victory, or the guy that we just saw this past weekend in Duval against the Jaguars?
Well, they are 3-3 right now, and the news that they really did not want to hear is that Anthony Richardson probably done for the season because of the sprain in the AC joint in his shoulder. Again, Jim Irsay saying, quote, probably going to undergo shoulder surgery soon and miss the rest of the year.